guys a couple questions about
Sure.
this? All right. So first, you got this all sound and everything too?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So can you just say your names for the video and everything?
And like you're like I'm a junior.
All right.
Okay.
Will Fox, I'm a junior at Souhegan.
Mitch Graney, I'm a junior at Souhegan as well.
And do you support Governor Kasich?
Yes.
Yes.
Why? Whoever wants to go first.
I think he's solid on some of the most important issues, which is reducing the national debt, which is probably the biggest issue, especially concerning us, because that's what we're going to be burdened with in the future. I don't want to have to look at that clock any longer as it keeps going up. I think it went up a couple million as we were sitting
Yeah.
here at the what's this called again? The rally? Town hall. The town hall. And he also has experience in foreign policy, and he's not going to make any rash decisions where he's going to really put our nation in jeopardy or make us look bad in the global context. As well as I liked his, especially tonight, his not comparing himself to the other candidates, but really talking about what he's going to do and how he's going to help us and the country, rather than, there was a question posed to him, can you compare yourself with the other governors running? And his response of, no, I'm not going to compare myself to the other governors, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. However, I thought that was a great response, because it's not about this battle between the candidates. It really needs to be about what each candidate is going to do to improve the country.
I like how he's about decentralizing the federal government and giving more power back to the states. I also like how he's hardlined on like Medicare and Medicaid, how he's not entirely liberal on it, but he has like an effective market-based program for it. And I like how he's more moderate than most of the other candidates. You know, I think one thing that I find very appealing to him is, like Will said, that he's balanced the budget, the track record he has, but also that he wants to give education back to local cities and states and take it away from the federal government, which I think is awesome.
And how do you feel about his stance towards education, being students?
I liked what he had to say today about how there needs to be standards of education that need to be met, and there needs to be testing to make sure those education standards are met. However, it should not be a broad, big government telling all the schools what they need to do. The individual schools have a better ability to teach their students than a big national government with lobbyists and all that who trying to decide what the kids are going to be learning.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I also thought how his opinion on college debt was interesting, and how he's more focused on how colleges are spending their money versus how students are investing in college. So I thought that was a very different, creative approach to the problem.
He also brought up the idea of less government, adding banks to be able to create competition for these loans to make the interest rate lower, which I think is a big part, because the interest rate is so high that there needs to be competition to bring the interest rate down.
And my last question is just, what did you think about the event as a whole?
Well run. I think I liked his ability to talk with the crowd, asking the crowd questions, and then, of course, just the amount of questions asked and answers given. Got to learn a lot tonight.
I liked how it was like a really cool, like close, personal format. Like there wasn't tons of people. It felt like he was talking to like more like a classroom than like you know, like I know Trump is in
It was educational.
yeah. Where like Trump's like in a stadium just preaching. I feel like this was more like he's connecting with the crowd, like listening to them and then responding with his solutions, which I thought was awesome.
I can say a bit about the Trump event in comparison to this, because I was there as well. Trump, he goes and he talks. He makes those statements that you see on television later on in the day, where he's making his profound statement about, hey. So I think one of the things he did was he was like, who's going to pay for the wall? And then the crowd would yell, Mexico. Who's going to, and he just did a chant for like a couple rounds of who's going to pay for the wall, Mexico. And he also spent like the first, I'll say 10 minutes, I think it might have been longer, just talking about himself and how he's doing in the polls. he listed off poll by poll how his score was in comparison to the other candidates. It was all about himself, not about what he's going to be doing when he actually gets to office. He was trying to make sound bites, it seemed, more than really. And I think there was 3 questions asked, where tonight we got 3 from a single person.
Half the presentation
Yeah.
was questions, which is cool.
Did this like confirm or deny any thoughts about like who you want to, or if you could vote, who you would vote for?
Yeah.
Mitch can vote. I can't quite vote yet.
I can't vote in this election, but I will be voting in November. So it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of weeks play out, especially in New Hampshire.
Yeah, again, same. I'm still between Rand and Kasich myself. I like them both. I just like the idea of taking a lot of that government power away from that centralized finger of the government and giving it back to the states and trying to get government out of our business as much as possible, which they both do. And Kasich is someone who I can see getting lots of stuff done in a bipartisan fashion. So they both have similar qualities that I like, and then some parts of themselves that I like between the two of them. I pick and choose from each one, so I'm not quite 100% certain who I like exactly yet, but between the two of them.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You're answering.
No. I was just gonna say I agree with
Okay.
Will.
So I know that both of you are like getting involved with like Kelly Ayotte. So is this election like inspiring you in any way to get into politics more, or?
No, I've kind of been in politics since the 2014 election, certainly not as heavily as Will. And with this whole presidential election coming up, like I've really wanted to get invested in it because it's important as a citizen too. So I've been excited, and I'm glad I really got to experience this because it's like a behind-the-scenes thing. You don't see that often. So
Yeah, I've been really involved starting 2 years ago in the last midterm.
I hate to correct you, he's literally on the scene. He's literally on the stage, not behind the scenes at all.
true, but you don't. This isn't the stuff you see like in a debate on TV.
That's correct, but he is literally on the stage. That's
True.
not behind the scenes.
True.
It's just,
No,
Go on,
you're
sorry.
right. You're right.
Do you mind saying your name for this?
I'm Rod.
Okay.
That's right. You want my last name?
Yeah.
Weber.
He's also called.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It was like burning like a thorn in my ear. I was just waiting to talk to Jay.
It's a good point.
I'm sorry. Well, no, because the real behind the scenes stuff is way shadier than this. I mean, he's presenting the best version of himself.
True.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, that's a really
Sorry.
valid point.
I think I was just saying that I've been involved a lot since the midterm election, when I was part of volunteering a lot for Havenstein and other candidates. That it's good to. I love New Hampshire because everybody comes to New Hampshire. You can really get to meet all the candidates. So New Hampshire's great in that aspect.
And do you think young people should get more involved with politics and their local government and stuff like that? Like, what are your opinions on that?
I mean, I think local government especially is most effective, or has the most effect on you because those directly translate to you. National government goes through a lot to get to you. I guess it still is has a big effect on you. But yeah, especially as young kids, as you saw with the national debt, that's all going onto our shoulders. So we should be the most involved because it's affecting us the most.
All right. Anything else? Do you have anything to say on that? Or?
I think as far as national politics go, I think people should be concerned because it is a broken system and it needs to be fixed. So I think from that sense they should be concerned. But as far as I think they should at least be aware of what's happening.
Do you have anything else to add in general? No?
I don't think so.
I'm ready to go home.
I've got a poem I need to learn.
Oh, poetry out loud.
Yeah, I forgot about it
presenting
until
Good luck with
today.
that.
Oh, you're
Thank
presenting
you.
tomorrow?